Namaste. Yesterday somebody asked that how is Saturn? The person said that Saturn is insensitive. Saturn has no emotions. Saturn is very strict. Saturn has no mercy. But I don't believe in this because the reality is something else. And why is it so? You will find in this podcast. So before you conclude, before you judge Saturn, before you come towards a conclusion that Saturn is strict and Saturn has no mercy, please listen to this podcast. If you are truly an evolving soul, you will understand after listening to this podcast that why Saturn is not what you think, why Saturn is not ruthless, why Saturn is not merciless, why Saturn is not very strict. You will understand. You will understand the true face, the true nature of Saturn. Saturn is the king of our galaxy. Without Saturn, you cannot imagine this world. So before you start painting Saturn as some kind of Hitler or as some kind of merciless planet or God, please listen to this podcast. So let's begin. Saturn is exalted in airy sign Libra, whereas Saturn rules the nakshatras that dwell in the watery signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Since the very roots of Saturn, that is its nakshatras, Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttara Bhadrapad, are placed in the emotional, sensitive, watery signs, it would be wrong to state that Saturn has no emotions or Saturn is insensitive. In fact, Lord Saturn is the most emotionally intelligent planet in our galaxy. Always remember, there is a difference between being an emotional fool and being an emotionally intelligent person. Emotional fool can never be fair and just in his decisions, whereas an emotionally intelligent person can understand his and the other person's feelings very well, and so his decision is based on more compassion and understanding. To understand everything is to forgive everything, says the Buddha. And so the house influenced by Lord Saturn gets their fair share based on the kind of karma you did in your last birth. By doing black magic on others, by hurting others through offensive language, by hurting others through offending comments, by ridiculing others, all these negative karmas will not help. You will only suffer and suffer and suffer more. So it all depends on your past birth karma as well as present birth karma quality. And so the house influenced by Lord Saturn gets their fair share based on the kind of karma you did in your last birth as well as this birth. Saturn is a judge, but Saturn also is highly compassionate and can show mercy if you take the path of righteousness by doing certain difficult, spiritual practices such as strict fasting on Saturdays or Tuesdays, donating 10% of your income to old homeless people or to poor homeless people, feeding crows and fishes every Wednesdays or Saturdays. So the more practical efforts you take towards doing the good things in life by being helpful to others, the more Saturn will show compassion and mercy towards you. And the matters of the house ruled or influenced by Saturn in your birth chart will definitely get their fair share. Always remember, happiness is not ready made, it comes from your own actions. Along with such practical remedies, if you also devote yourself to Lord Hanuman and visit and pray to Lord Hanuman and Lord Saturn every Saturday, then also you will be shown mercy, and the highly compassionate and the just King of our galaxy, Lord Saturn, will give you a second chance to rediscover yourself and your potentials. The people tree is the most favorite of Lord Saturn, and so if you offer water to this divine tree, and if you light a lamp using sesame or mustard oil beneath this tree on Saturdays, then you definitely will experience the blessings of Lord Saturn showering upon you. So it is a myth that Saturn has no emotions. In fact, Saturn's nakshatras, that is Saturn's roots itself, are in the watery emotional signs. And so Saturn loves oceans. And Saturn indeed has the immense depth of the oceans that you can sense only if you are willing to dive within and explore your true self. Jai Shanidev, Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.